pace up against G2 Blacklist, right? Because traditionally, when it comes to the individual matchup, it is always Jace and Lucian meeting in the same lane, as they're both strong when it comes to early game. So Fennel could still pinpoint into this type of aspect or double down on the late game with Zeri once again.
That's the hard thing about this, though, because one thing that they can do here is that the Zeri could get picked up by G2 Blacklist because they still have that option to go for and pick another jungler. Even if KD goes for the same champion, goes for the Yone, it's still going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely okay still. Lee Sin denied away from G2 Blacklist, the OG jungler for KD or former Just Chi.
Kai'Sa Zeri? That's a possibility, though. They can go for the Kai'Sa Zeri here for a run and even Golden Kite and let KD go for the Jace jungle.
This will be a really glass cannon type of composition, though, if they go for this. And Camille should be available into this team fight if ever they double down onto the double ADC while having Jace into the hands of KD.
Yeah. That's going to be a Kai'Sa. Are they gonna go for a Zeri? Vladimir makes it way better. So is Aaron gonna be able to pick this up and show Fennel how this Vladimir could work on this meta? Fennel could still go for the Zeri. Yeah, there you go. That's gonna be a Helios pick.
I love this coming in from G2 Blacklist. You know what? Let's change things up. Let's bring Jace into the jungle. KD has used it before in Season 1. Why not use it again?
Yeah, that's gonna be a Zeri working out. If it's against a Vladimir, that is a good matchup, though. I would really love to see a Vladimir versus a Zeri in the early game, because both of them don't really have a lot of damage in the early game, so you won't expect a lot of kills in the mid lane. So most likely what's gonna happen here is that G2 Blacklist and Fennel are gonna be rotating the Kai'Sa and the Ziggs in the mid lane as fast as they could, so that the solo, or rather the mid laners, would be able to have a better time in the side lanes.
Yeah, in addition to that as well, we have to remember that Jace and Lee Sin are an early game champion, so they're really strong when it comes to early game. Level 3 already. KD could jump into the lane. Lee Sin could jump into the lane at level 3. So both these junglers will dictate the pace of the game for game 2.
Let's see how they work this out, though. They were able to make this work during the last game. Fennel would still have a chance to win this again and make it a 2-0 against G2 Blacklist. But how are they going to do that when they have a Kai'Sa and even a Vladimir on the side of G2 Blacklist?
It's really difficult, right? We have to look at the double ADC, or well, rather, the Zeri and the Ziggs of Team Fennel. And for Team G2 Blacklist, we have to look at the Vlad, we have to look at the Kai'Sa, because these 4 champions overall for both these teams are going to be scary late game insurance.
I really like this composition that they have here. They have a lot of damage potential. They have the early game coming in from the Jace. G2 Blacklist has a lot of chances here. But Fennel, a while ago, this is almost the same composition that they were able to make it work. It's also just because of the elements that we had a while ago. It was also because of the Zeri, it was because of the Ziggs, but now they have different tools on their arsenal.
Yeah, it is now looking into, you know, the frontliners coming into these teams. You mentioned a while ago that G2 Blacklist, if ever they go for the double ADC, this is going to be a glass cannon. Now, with the Vladimir into their competition, it changes things up a bit.
Yeah, this is going to be a big change for them. Look at how this is going to start. Chaz already starting up explosively with him taking the Raptors for free.
No info as well. So Chaz is going to take this freely, and now KD is now seen by Chaz. Could get denied of the red buff.
Not even aware, though. Oh, he's moving on the top side. Oh, he sees the Raptors. Now he's afraid of what could happen here. Look at the reaction coming in from Helios. He's going to push back KD. He's already starting it back up. But here comes G2B. Most of the members of Fennel are also here. This is going to be a big fight at level 2. And Chaz is super low. Golden Kite is the first blood going to go to their side. Yes, it is. G2 Blacklist gets the first blood. And they're all going to go back.
That's really good. But the thing is, I think it is G2 Blacklist who has the better, and they removed the jungler away from Team Fennel. And we mentioned a while ago that junglers will dictate the pace of the game. With Lee Sin now being delayed of the fight, having to remove the potential for the blue buff, red buff early on, it is going to be KD who will have the better potential. And yes, Golden Kite died, but it doesn't really matter. He's able to go back into the lane as swiftly as possible to garner more gold immediately.
Yeah, that is actually good though, especially how Fennel already started that fight. It's a good reaction coming in from G2B. A lot of players use their flashes, and this is the point in where not a lot of players from G2B are really strong. That's the reason why Fennel just charged in. Now, the fight is also gonna happen. KD trying his best to get something out of the Raptors he lost, and that's another kill for Fennel.
We mentioned the possible delay that brought onto Chaz, but it doesn't really matter. It is KD who died on hands of Chaz and Helios. Now Fennel is back. They needed that and they got it.
Yeah, they got the kill, and this is how it's gonna start. Let it
Died on hands of Chaz and Helios. Now Fennel is back. They needed that and they got it.
Yeah, they got the kill, and this is how it's gonna start. Let us see how this is gonna work, man. Aaron, let us take a look at this. We're still waiting for Aaron to get to the late game, even Golden Kite. But what is really scary in how this Chaz is giving advantage to his laners.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, this is what we have mentioned a while ago. I know I keep on repeating that junglers are going to be key here, but that's just the reality of the fact. It is G2 Blacklist who has a huge dependency onto their jungler. We saw it in game number 1, and right now, it's a little bit different. Golden Kite will be their main carry along with Vladimir into the mid lane, but look at top lane.
Ultimatum, they have it, and they have the Grand Challenge shoot together with it. Ime won a 1v1 top side.
That's really good coming from G2 Blacklist. They needed that kill as well to even out the level playing field when it comes to the kills, when it comes to the gold. And now it's a G2B who has the advantage on top lane. But going back, it is a huge dependency on Kai'Sa, on Vladimir. And now it is up to KD, who changes up the pace in the bottom lane!
That's going to be a Horn of the Forge God. They're going to be going in. That's damage coming in from KD, and G2B takes 2 kills on the board.
That's really, really amazing. We just mentioned it. And KD did just visit the bottom lane to garner 2 kills for the whole squad. And now G2B is still matching up the early game aggression coming out from that. And Ime from that fight up against Spelt as well. Really, really clever going into the corner of the Hextech ultimatum for the Grand Challenge to not be activated.
Yeah, and this is going to be the start here. At least G2B was able to get the 2 kills onto the bot side of the map, and that could really help them out in the first objective. And this is what you want to do. KD coming back from the fight is something important here for G2 Blacklist, because if he doesn't get the early game, that is going to be bad for this guy.
He definitely does. And now, with a ward there, the information provided for the whole squad of Fennel that KD is on to the blue buff of the left quadrant jungle. And now Chaz will be able to might visit into KD, but for now, KD's playing really, really safe.
Yeah, and what they can do here is because they don't really have a lot of wave clear, they're going to be putting Aaron on defense mode into the mid lane too. And if this is something good for Aaron, because if he gets a lot of gold in this early game, because Danny's not going to kill him in the early game, that's why this is good space for Aaron too.
Yeah, and plus the thing is, Vladimir could just go underground and not be targeted by Zeri. That's the advantage, or well, Danny. Like, that's the advantage of having Vladimir and having that potential to go into these team fights, because Vladimir could just go into fights and go out.
Yeah, and that's what's good about the Vladimir. And that is why the CN conference gives respect for this champion, is because of the fact that the Vladimir could just do this, especially in the late game, could easily just run in and out of the fight and doing so much burst damage.
Yeah, and that is also one of the reasons why we weren't as surprised to come into a conclusion that, you know what, Vladimir is there. This is not a glass cannon competition because they have Vladimir, and that changes things up. Now, they're in Herald.
Objective is already up. Rift Herald is being taken. Nobody has taken this. They're gonna go for the fight here early in the game. Harder the Forge God would be able to hit, and they got it. KD was able to secure what they needed. They're gonna be trying to run away. Fennel would be dashing away, but Golden Kite was able to get the killer instinct in, flashes in, gets the kill in. Danny's gonna be next. He's gonna fall down, and G2B wants to go for more. They still are looking for Orthros and Helios, but they are not gonna continue.
They just did not get the objective alone. They got kills on top of that, and now they have huge advantage up against Fennel. They now have 2k gold lead, and that's not gonna stop here. They have the Rift Herald to be able to secure the Tower First Blood later on if they opt to do so. But the resets coming in from G2 Blacklist is really clever because the Ice Streak is still available.
Oh man, this is gonna be scary. Let's take a look at this. FL, oh man, this... How are they gonna do this anymore? Because they have the 1.4k gold lead. G2 Blacklist already has the advantage, and Golden Kite has got just a lot amount of gold here, and the Dragons are still available at 6 minutes.
Yeah, and it could definitely be denied by KDs, especially considering that Chaz is not going in for the Ice Drake really, really quickly. But now, going for the Siege instead. Tower First Blood in favor for Fennel.
this is what they've done during the game that they won. When they lose an objective, they're gonna go for another, and that is what Fennel is super good at. But G2 Blacklist, yes, they got the tower in the bot lane, but they still haven't gotten the ice drake.
Right, it doesn't really matter at this point. It is Fennel who just keeps up the pace. As you have mentioned a while ago, it is a 1-for-1 tower trade, and so far G2 Blacklist is still sustaining the 2k gold lead. Now KD starts up the ice drake, but Chaz is also there. Sonic Wave is available.
Yeah, they have a chance to get this on a Dragon's Rage. Shaz might be able to get the steal here, if ever. G2B already going. Horn of Forge God is going to be used. Orthros doesn't have the explosive gas. They're going to go in at one person. Ime would be able to zone out a lot of the members of Fennel, and G2 Blacklist won't even be able to get close.
Ime?
That is going to be really fast. A lot of members have been taken up by that Dragon's Rage. A lot of members super low in HP. They still aren't continuing. They lost one of their members, and this is going to be a chance. They're still moving forward. Ime is going to go in, stun on Danny. And one more shock blast from far away. And Speltz is going to be next. This is a nice break for G2 Blacklist.
Thraw is just built different. The two-man knockup at the very end just disabled Chaz to go in for the ice drake. That disables the potential for them to go in for the steal. On top of that, the prolonged fight, the Horn of the Forge God connected onto one with Camille going in for the Hextech ultimatum. Let's look at the replay. Look at Ime. Locks down onto Helios. Horn of the Forge God knocks up onto 2 as well. That's Speltz and Helios, and that enabled them to be able to clear out the support of Fennel. This is a 4v5, and yes, Helios jumped through in hopes to get the kill onto Ime or Aaron, but they answered back, which is really important because now it brings it down to a massive numbers advantage for G2B, and KD at the end of the doll just went in for the shock blast. Huge damage potential, removed 2 members with the help of Draw with a 2-man knockup.
G2 Blacklist, same as what happened during Game 1. Gaining the early game advantage is something that they're always good at. How are they going to be able to follow this through come the mid-game and where Helios is going to be relevant? Right now, Fennel wasn't able to do much during that first objective. What will come during the second objective? That is the question here for G2 Blacklist.
What will come? Fennel did it once before. In game number 1, they turned things around with a 6k gold disadvantage. They got the lead back. Can they do it once again? Horn of the Forge God.
Orthros was able to flash away but wasn't able to follow through. Explosive gas is going to be used, but there's only 2 members here. No follow-up from the side. Fennel wouldn't be able to answer back with any kills. Tower on the top side going to fall down.
Draw did it once again. The Horn of the Forge God enabled Golden Kite to go in for the killer instinct. And then right after, it was Aaron and KD just shadowing them, shadowing the lane, followed through with the kill.
Yeah, and that was, oh my, man, Fennel can't even do much here. It's a good thing that they were able to take the tower down in the bot side just to trade out the tower in the top side. But one good thing here is that they still have the mid lane tower, which could potentially help them out.
They still have it, and that's really good. Now, looking at the mid lane as well, it was a 2v1. It was Chaz who just came in. Mega Inferno Bomb just cleared out the HP bar of Camille overall. So it was a 1-for-1 trade. But the thing is, G2B still got the turret on top lane that just gave them so much more gold.
Yeah, and remember, they also have the Vladimir on their side. At this point, if we go for an item check, they probably already have 2 items on Aaron. And this is a ticking time bomb. Once you have a Vladimir on the other side, you need to really be wary once he gets his item power spike, which is 3 items. Now they're gonna go in. Hextech ultimatum together with the Horn of the Forge God. What a perfect timing from G2 Blacklist.
Draw did it again! 3 times in a row. Now Chaz into the backside. Katie.
They're gonna try to go fight. They're gonna try to go back. Spelt already. Grand challenge to the report. He's not gonna be able to get the kill on him. They got one. Chaz is gonna try to follow through. They went in for the safeguard, but Hemoplague does a lot of damage on that guy. And Fennel can't do much against G2 Blacklist.
How is Draw and Ime playing this game? They always deny that engage. They cannot go near the back lines of G2 Blacklist.
Oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared. What's happening? Fennel won't be able to do much here. Remember, we also talk about the fact that Zeri could potentially get them the late game. And a while ago, during game 1, the Ziggs was also great. But now that Danny doesn't have that advantage anymore, and it's easy for G2 Blacklist to breach the back line, they can't even do anything to even help out both of this, Danny and Helios.
Yeah, and the difference maker here is the long-range engage coming in from Draw. The Horn of the Forge God always looked into that single target, key targets to be more specific. Orthros always being removed, so no more frontliners coming into the side of Fennel, and right after it was just Squishy's left standing for the side of Fennel. The Draw just changed up the game.
Yeah, and it's taking a long time, a long time for this Remember, 6k gold lead is when G2 Blacklist had the advantage during game 1, but now in game 2, might be a little bit harder for Fennel Adversity to turn the tides around.
Is this going to be a repeat itself, or history being a different story now that G2 Blacklist is built different with a different composition as well, pushing down bot lane?
Oh man, that's gonna be a kill already. Tower down onto the bot side, but they still haven't taken down the tower onto the mid lane. So G2 Blacklist, let's take a look at what they can do here. They still have a lot of time. 13 more seconds before the next objective comes in, and G2 Blacklist already has position.
Yeah, Inferno Drake is already up. Chaz is there as well. But the thing is, G2 Blacklist is such a dominant powerhouse from here on forward. Just clearing down the wave in the mid lane, knowing and understanding that they have wave control. Bottom lane!
What? Is this inhib gonna fall down?
Not yet.
No, it hasn't. 200 gold. We still have Fennel Adversity still. Okay, they tried, but they can't even get close.
Aaron now really in danger.
Wait, this is scary.
Risk position when it comes to his HP bar. But instead, now going for the Infernal Drake. They could remove this really easily with Golden Kite's help.
Yeah, Chaz is going to be knocked off. He can't even get close. That's going to be one down again. G2 Blacklist takes another dragon, and they are close to soul.
And one more dragon to kill it all off, to get that soul in favor for G2 Blacklist. And once that happens, so much advantage already built into the hands of G2 Blacklist. Now Spells in danger. Two-man roam coming in from G2B.
Yeah, Horn of the Forge God is going to be here. What a good try from Draw, but the Horn of the Forge God was still able to work out. Riposte was a bit too late from Spells, and he's dead.
And that was just like a micro play coming in from
That
Draw.
was a bait.
Yeah,
wow.
He faked it out, and with the Horn of the Forge God connected, Repose wasn't used, and then Killer Instinct was used for a Golden Kite to just come into that engage.
It's so smart of a player. That is why Draw is honestly one of the best here. Now Baron is going to be taken. G2 Blacklist, but Chaz might be able to do a miracle here. Goes in for the Dragon's Rage. It's going to go in for the steal, but it's not worth it. KD still able to take the Baron.
Not going to happen. Camille will be able to shut him down. G2B gets the Baron Nashor. All objectives in the game, and 6k gold lead advantage now secured by G2B. No more defense capability here in the mid lane, and the first turret in the mid lane by Fennel will fall.
Oh man, G2 Blacklists are flowing now compared to what happened during game 1. Fennel wouldn't have any chances on fighting back because they don't really have a lot of CC to work with. The only way that they can start this Infinity is when Orthros gets a great explosive cast.
But the thing is, it doesn't happen because of Draw's Horn of the Forge God. It is always Orthros that is targeted by both Draw and Camille. It is Ime who has eyes on Orthros as well, denying of that potential engage.
Oh, the cannon! Oh my, the cannon was able to take it down, and G2 Blacklist aren't stopping. They want to take a hold of this. 14 minutes and they want to end this out. Horn of the Forge God is going to be used. Wasn't cancelled by Orthros. Too far away. Aaron goes in for the Hemo Plague. He's going to be going with the Tides of Blood. The damage is not there. Everybody's so far away. They still have the Nexus shields. They got kills on the back line. Ime is still in front. They're taking a lot of damage from the Nexus, but it doesn't matter because they're going to end this game.
It was a phenomenal finish coming in for G2 Blacklist.